How's it going, everybody? It's Boy Graveyard Sports. Normally, as you guys know, I don't like getting in politics. Everybody has their own point of view. Everybody has their own belief system. But I think that everybody in this world also has their list of worst presidents. I'm not going to go through that list, but I'm going to tell you guys who I got in my top 2, and we're going to be discussing him today in this video of Campaign Trail. And I think we all can agree, fuck Woodrow Wilson! That guy. The same guy that thought it was a great idea to get us into World War One. Yeah, cool. You campaigned that you're not going to get us into World War One. What did you do? Yes, you did. Then he also plays Birth of a Nation at the White House. For people that don't know, that movie is about the Ku Klux Klan. And he's like, oh, but he was against that kind of movie. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. His quote is literally in the movie. Before I just go on to a diatribe of why I don't like Woodrow Wilson, we have a mission.
Now we have to get Woodrow Wilson out of office. So obviously, I'm playing as Charles Evan Hughes. He's a former governor in New York, and he served on the Supreme Court from 1910 until his resignation to accept the Republican nomination. I think Fairbanks was his actual running mate. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Fairbanks. Gotta make this a little bit easier on myself. Sorry, excuse the chair. What themes will you emphasize as you accept the Republican nomination and begin your campaign? My record as New York governor shows that I am willing to enact progressive reform and to combat political or machine politics. That's kind of what I want to do, is run a progressive campaign anti-war. In making appointments to your campaign, will you favor traditional Republican progressives or try to balance? I'm going to run a more progressive campaign just because I know that's kind of where the country's leaning. I'm not going to win much of the South, but I'm going to try to win Ohio. What is your position in regards to the war? If Mr. Wilson continues to allow American ships to travel in dangerous areas, it's only a matter of time before we're drawn into war. His claims to be the peace candidate rings hollow. Yeah, that actually kind of hurt me. Do you support the level of preparedness established by the recent National Defense Act? If we're so hell-bent on avoiding war, why are we expanding? I am too anti-war. At this point, I'm doing everything I can to make sure we don't go into war. I don't want to go to war. So, I need to solidify. No, Ohio is huge. I'm gonna go back to Ohio because I feel like Ohio is probably the best chance that I have. Do you support the Clayton Antitrust Act, which was recently passed? Do you believe the unions should be exempted from the antitrust regulations? I support the antitrust acts. I do not believe that we should have one set of laws for business and another one for unions. Oh, I lost votes for that fucking view. Excuse my language. Oh no. Theodore Roosevelt is hitting the campaign trail hard this fall. However, he continues to make bellicose speeches about the war in Europe. Will you distance yourself from his rhetoric? I emphasize that I am my own man. That one helps. I need to go to some of the bigger states. Missouri. What do you make of Woodrow Wilson's response to the raids in Mexico? Has been in turmoil for years, and for anybody with foresight could see the anticipation problems with the undefended border. Wilson did not. Every good American supports our current expedition into Mexico to apprehend the villainous Pancho Villa. That lost me votes? Okay. How do you have any plans to attack the nomination of Lewis? Yeah, I don't. Maybe visit Maryland. Do you have a take? Do you have a position to take on the calls for prohibition of alcohol in this campaign? I reject any call. This is a controversial stance. Whoa, that one lost me a lot of votes. How much do you emphasize your own reform effects as governor of New York? Okay, I can't lose Ohio. Okay, that's tough. Do you have any statements to make about the Federal Reserve Act establishing the Federal Reserve? I support the Federal Reserve in general, but I believe that we should have a more established, centralized federal banking system. The Federal Reserve idea is worthy of support, but I would prefer if private banks were given a larger role. All right, cool. That puts me back in a good spot. I gotta stick in Missouri as well. Do you plan to attack Woodrow Wilson's stance on the preparedness and war in Europe? If so, how? Wilson has reportedly taken half measures when we should be doing more to prepare for the threat of war. I refuse to regardless of the policy. Preparedness is a policy which leads us closer to the very thing that we're preparing against. I understand I'm very anti-war, but right now that's part of what the American people believe. They don't want to get involved in France in World War One. California, an important state that's fallen into the midst of a divisive split between progressives and traditional Republicans. What are your own plans to visit? We will plan our own visit to that state, and call upon the governor and his opponents equally to avoid giving offense. All right, I'm still sitting okay in the vote. I'm still sitting okay in the vote. Go, gonna go to New York. What are your opinions on child labor legislation? If I can speak. Um, I oppose child labor. Okay, didn't really do much. Do you have any statements to make on the tariff question and/or recently established tariff commission as you campaign? I would prefer tariffs to be higher, and the creation of a tariff commission would be the step in the right direction. Didn't really hurt. I'm gonna visit Texas. Woodrow Wilson has recently pushed through the Adamson Act to avert a railroad strike, which establishes an 8-hour day for railroad employees. But I believe an 8-hour workday. Yeah, I think that just shot me in the foot. No, it did not. No, it did not. Maybe go back. Oh no, I still got another question. Do you have any statements to make on the Federal Trade Commission established in 1914? I don't believe that it's a good idea, but that just lost me quite a few votes. Shoot. Do you support the recently ratified 17th Amendment requiring a direct election of U.S. senators? I believe that it is a good piece of legislation. I agree with it. Do you? What do you make of the Preparedness Day parades, which have sprung across the country this summer? These These are impressive demonstrations, but we shouldn't read too much into them when drafting our policy. The majority of Americans are against military involvement. I'm not even on the ballot. If I take Missouri, I'll be fine. Would you support American preparation to a post-war League of Nations? I support the traditional policy of the non-interference in European affairs as best of our nation's interest. Are you willing to meet with a German American and Irish American political leaders to discuss your beliefs regardless of your feeling towards the organization? I'm oh I'm not sitting pretty right now, and I'm not liking this. Okay. Do you support the temporary curtailment of American ships across the Atlantic in order to reduce the chances of German submarine attacks and resulting consequences. If we are serious about avoiding entanglements in the European war, then we should not allow merchants to put American lives at risk of an attack through known war zones. I'm not going to risk putting more Americans' lives at risk. Would you support a law requiring new immigrants to pass a literacy test in English? I don't really have a strong opinion about it, but that just shot me massively up in the polls on these questions. Go to Missouri for the final question. I feel like we got this election. We will make our final campaign in New York. It's election night. How are we doing? Can we please beat Woodrow Wilson? Please. Please beat Woodrow Wilson. He's going to sweep the South. I know that for sure. He's going to sweep the South. If I could just get the majority of the North and most of the Midwest, I feel comfortable. 94-28. 94-73. Okay. Again, those were just projected. That does not automatically mean that I won. I just need 266. I get 266. I feel completely comfortable. 222 to 194. Okay. I lost Ohio. That I have to get Missouri. If I don't get Missouri, I don't think I win this. I lose Colorado and Arizona, sad face. But I knew I was going to lose those from the get-go. 253. I lost Missouri, too. Oh, no. This is closer than I thought it would be. I might not win the popular vote. I won the election anyways. I want to see the final results. I want to see the final two states come in. It doesn't matter, though. We beat Woodrow Wilson. He will not be a two-term president. We never have to worry about it. Thank God. I did not win the popular vote. I was 0.3% less. The overall real-life results, Woodrow Wilson won 277 to 254. I just won 293 to 238. I'm cool with that, as long as we beat Woodrow Wilson. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like and the subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.